So I'm just like coming on Thursday. So our topic was, and we have a lot more to catch up about, from Sunday Hollywood to Monday and the updates where Hollywood stars like Angelina Jolie and all the Hollywood stars just decided to freaking terminate all the Israel movies and things like that and pledge to support the Palestinians. That is update one. And people say, oh no, it is not political power. I tell you, it is. It is. When you have money, you can do anything you possibly can. You can buy somebody if you wanted to, right? Now where are we? Today is Thursday, our stream day, and I made my thumbnail on Sunday that what we're supposed to do. Now on Wednesday, Qatar got attacked by Israel, and some say it was planned, some say it was not planned, some say it was planned, some say it was not planned. Some say America knew about it, some say America did not know about it. It's a back and forth jungle game. And hello from Qatar attack tomorrow, not tomorrow, yesterday, Charlie Klerk got attacked. What is going on this week? That is my question to everybody. Now, everybody who does a little bit of behind the door reading, then you would know that this game is about to get a little bit hot. It's funny how everything is starting to get really congested on before 9/11, which is today, on day of our stream, and 9/11, right? And people are doing their own observation. But the truth is, guys, when it comes to like products, companies, everything's like that, there's always behind the door villain, okay? Same for the Hollywood. Hollywood may have terminated, like some of the actors took a pledge, and the owner of Hollywood may took a pledge to support them, that, hey, we are going to terminate Israel, and that's fine. Some actors took a pledge, and some people are mad about that. But in the end, there's always a behind the door villain to all these stuff that is happening. All of it is happening. There's a behind the door story. And the behind the door story, some people believe it, some people do not believe it. Some people say it's religion, some people say it is not religion. It's actually a lot more if you look at it. You just need to look behind the door. So like, for example, when, hey, Simon, how you doing? How you doing? You hear the news yesterday? Charlie got attacked. I thought I might talk with you guys, see what you guys think. Can you name 3 songs from Selena Constantino? I wish I knew Selena. I wish, guys. I wish I knew. I don't know that many songs from her. Salome said hi. Hi, guys. Let's come on in. Come on into the room. We have much to talk about today. From the Hollywood actors to all the way up to Charlie Klerk. I haven't even came online yet, and we have 3 freaking stuff that happened this entire week. Nasat, Absav, how you guys doing? Come on in, welcome guys, come right in. I would do it from my laptop, but I'm having a StreamYard problem, so I didn't do it there. Come on in, fans, we have much to talk about today. So Sunday, it freaking got announced that Hollywood actors like decided to just terminate, take a pledge and kick out Israeli movies, which is a shock of the week. Then 2 days after that, Qatari got attacked by Israel, and now yesterday Charlie Klerk died. Could you imagine that, guys? Freaking so much has happened today. This message is held for a review. View your message. Oh, thank you for the review. I'll review it right after my stream. Thank you so much. Mwah. So, like, so much has happened today. And I tell you, there's so much behind the door reading about all this. And I was talking to some of my friends. And I tell you, there's a lot to review about. Now, something I told some of my friends that you must understand that, what is going on? The message view message. What is going on? Oh, there you go. I don't know what message is there. I'll remove all these messages after. I don't know why it's showing error. Ashu, hi. How you doing? Hi, everybody. And yeah, I don't know. Who's this in the room, man? Ashu, how you doing? So like, yes, about these conflicts, there's a lot to study about these conflicts, guys. There's not one villain. We have many, 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 many villains in this conflict. And the fact is that I was reviewing with some of my friends from all over, and we wanted to, what do you do? Oh, how you doing, Ashu? I'm a private journalist. I collect information, and I recently just started YouTubing, and now I'm reviewing some of the facts throughout the week. And I'm sure if you guys have questions, I would love to answer it for you. How you doing? So this week's news: Hollywood just Hollywood just terminated Israeli movies, and some took a pledge that to support the Palestinians. That's News Sunday. Now, throughout the weeks, Qatari got attacked. Now, some say that it's true, which it is, but the question is, who got the report? Some say they did get the report, some say they didn't get the report. So it's a lot to do back and forth studying, you know. And then yesterday, Charlie Klerk just died. So there's a lot to look into the picture, you know. So my point I want to point out to my fans, whoever's listening to me, there's a lot of behind the doors reading. There's a lot of behind the doors studying. And why is all this stuff just mishmash jungle? And why is it happening all in 1 week and nobody's studying about it, huh? Oh, there's a lot to study about it, my friends. There's a lot to study about it from the beginning to end. Now, some say it's true, some say it's not true, but oh no, there's a lot to be studied, which is why it's true. Poor Charlie, I know, right? Charlie died yesterday, Hollywood incident came Sunday, and Qatar got attacked Wednesday. What a crazy week, right, guys? So much updates in the entire week that is unbelievable, unfreaking believable, right? Now, people still say that, no, there's no studying. I tell you, there's a lot of freaking studying, okay? A lot of studying. Hey, Ashu, how you doing from India? Jeho, hello, India. How you doing? So the studying part is that why did some of these nations get attacked? Places like UK, Europe, Germany, and Canada, and all these places, why did they get attacked? I'm reviewing why, even though they're America's closest allies, but since they support Israel, they ended up getting attacked. There's a mishmash here. You got to review every single language. You know Hindi language? Jeho ji, thoda bahut aata hai, sab kuch nahi aata hai. How you doing? I don't know all of it. I don't know all Hindi. I can understand some of it. I just said it. So, like, look at all these places that got invaded, got attacked. Now, people were studying, like, even though these are best known for the West, and what type of countries are they, what type of Christian countries are they? Some say they were evangelical nations, some say they were Protestants. But you see, you need to study every single detail of the plot here, right? Now, people say this is not political power, but I tell you, it is political power all the freaking way. Everything that you ever studied before, everything that you ever studied before, read, it is coming to the table. History is coming to the table. Political parties are coming to the table. Everything that you have ever studied, it is freaking coming to the table. Now, Charlie, what is my opinion on Charlie's death? My opinion on Charlie's death is that it is terrible. He should not be the cause, and this should not be the reason. The way he got slaughtered yesterday, it was freaking terrible. It was just, out of my words, how he got shot yesterday. But at the same time, 2 years when he was preaching, as much as this is really hard for me to say on a mic because I'm not the person to say this, he was someone who valued Jewish people a lot, things like that. Now, why did he have villains in the story? I don't know. What was the cause? Was people happy with him? Were they not happy with him? What was the cause? I would not know that. I'm the only one in line. There's something wrong with today's stream, my friends. It keeps saying view message error, and I don't know. I had like 26 people in the room, and suddenly this thing just knocked down. But people will catch up again. This thing will go up on its own. It's weird. So, like, my point is, people need to understand how this conflict is working. Ever since Charlie died, just like people were affected Sunday, that how could famous Hollywood actors go against the Jewish people? And it affected almost every person in America when Hollywood freaking terminated all Jewish movies and actors took the pledge. That affected freaking every child. We all love Marvel. We all love Hollywood movies. We love everything related to Hollywood, you know? And Hollywood's like our childhood, man. You can't possibly hate Hollywood, right? Hi, Free Palestinian supporter. This is just not the place, but you're welcome to stay on the channel. So everybody loves Hollywood, right? We all do. And everybody who watches Hollywood movies, like my favorite actor is Paul Rudd. I love his movies, and I grew up watching him, and I love him being the Ant-Man. I have all his movies. And suddenly we hear an announcement that, hey, now we no longer have Hollywood United, right? And that affected every single freaking child. Los Santos, stay or get off my page. That's my message for you. I'm not responding to this bullshit. I'm going to continue talking. You don't like my channel? Goodbye. You can keep typing on here. I don't give a damn. It's not going to stop me from talking. Although on my next stream, you will be terminated. That's my message to you. Either listen to what I have to say or get out. Okay, so, do you not support Palestine? I do not support Hamas. If you're here on my page to lecture me regarding Hamas and how they are right, no, I am not the person for you, and I'm not going to support you with that, because you guys once upon a time had a normal life. If you decided to worship Hamas, my content is not for you. I'm sorry. Straight up as that. So, Hollywood movies affects every freaking child. Okay, that's your childhood. That's almost everything about you. Almost everything if you look at it. And suddenly people get an announcement from Hollywood that this started 75 years ago. My topic is Hollywood. Okay, you guys can leave. This is not my topic today, and I'm going to talk about this week. Someone started watching this season. So Hollywood, when we watch freaking movies, you watch Marvel, you watch all Marvel movies, that affects every single child. Now suddenly you get an announcement Sunday that, hey, we are not going to support things anymore. We're not going to support things anymore. That's going to affect every single child. Like what's happening in Hollywood. Why is stars like Adam Sandler divided or Paul Rudd divided? And why are other stars not supporting Israel? It's a mishmash when it comes to Hollywood. And that's going to affect every single child. Because child looks up to these actors. And they never would have pictured these actors would be divided till this day since the war of Israel and Palestine, right? That's one conflict of the week. Now, Qatar got attacked. And people do not have enough sources. That's another impact this entire week. And political parties say two different parties. And people say, no, they're telling the truth. No, they're telling the truth. No, they're telling the truth. My answer is just trust time. I'm not going to waste my breath on anybody. I'm going to monitor time. And I'm just going to monitor what Trump says. That's my best cure. Don't worry if what that media says or that media says, that media says. I'm just going to monitor President Trump. Because President Trump has link with everybody. Everybody, he has link with Israel, he has link with the Arab countries, he has link with the Muslim countries. That's all I'm going to monitor. President Trump, period. Okay, yesterday Charlie Klerk died. Now yesterday feels like every American was affected. Every single freaking American was affected after Charlie was shot. First children was affected from Hollywood. Now every single American is affected after Charlie's death. What is this impact, guys? What is going on? What is going on? Bro, is she a girl still waffling? Dude, if you are Palestinian supporters, this is not your page, okay? I talk about political factors here. My content's nothing related to them. Thank you. Los Santos, volume down. Thank you. Yes. I'm warning you, if I see garbage on my content, you guys are going to be blocked from my next stream. Just because I don't have a moderator doesn't mean I'm going to allow garbage. Simple as that. Okay, so after shooting Charlie, we have every single American affected. Now, how does this affect America's atmosphere? Let's see. We were talking about this yesterday, and I was telling my friends. It affects every single Christian. It affects children's society. It affects churches. It affects children in school, what they saw today. It affects every American's belief, what it saw yesterday. It affects every human in America growing up for tomorrow. That's how it affects today. Same, bro, I have to put her on mute. I am just on here to chat. Dude, my topic's not for Palestine. Get off my page. Okay, so this is my point here. That what happened yesterday, it affects every single American. And now you Palestinians, and here's a message for you guys who are bobbing on my page. Do you not fucking care about Muslim safety in America? There are American Muslims here who are living in a normal life, who have normal parents. We are not linked to your cause. Now, whenever you spread a propaganda towards Jews in Israel, you don't realize that you are welcoming anti-Semitism for us as citizens and living here. Right? You play a spade, you pay a spade. You play a spade, you pay a spade. And that payment we are giving. Thank you very much. You guys are giving that payment to us. Whatever you say towards Jews, you are giving that payment to us for hatred. That's my message to you here. Whatever you do on social media, say towards Jews or your cause, you are giving us that hatred. because we live here. This is our home. This is where our kids live. We have nothing to do with it. We have to follow the rules. We have to follow the directions. We have to follow everything that we live here. Okay, that's one message. Now, how is tomorrow? People are probably not going to take me seriously. Tomorrow's bloodshed. Tomorrow's bloodshed. Screw what happened Sunday for Hollywood towards children watching movies. Yesterday's bloodshed. You affected every single American. You affected a child. You affected people going to church. You affected people going to schools. You affected people who believe in politicians. You affected pretty much every society in America after yesterday's incident. You affected people's views, how they see towards things, and people's belief. Today's September 11th, and Charlie died yesterday. A new beginning for everybody. They killed 60,000 people, but they are not victims. How many Palestinians have died from Hamas massacre from 2000 till now? What the heck is Charlie? Okay, and I am going to warn you one last time. If you are going to not listen to me, I am going to remove you from here. Remove. There you go. Simple answer. You are going to be removed from here. I don't care. I don't allow that here. What about from our free speech? Your free speech. Okay, you want to talk to me? I'm a Muslim. I have a message for you. When you go to America, you do not sabotage America for your rights. You have to respect the Muslims who live here. Because we lived here. We live here. We live here. Now, if you do your shitty little garbage in our house, we have to deal with the cops because of you guys. We have to deal with the politics because of you guys. We have to give up our religion because of you guys. Do you think we're happy about that? I don't think so. Islam does not say anything about Zionism into your face. It does not. It does not say anything about Zionism. This is a propaganda I'll publish to your faces. If you guys lived healthy in 2000, what you vote for Hamas for? What you vote for Hamas for? Now what are you crying about? You got your wish. You got your wish. Okay. Report at a channel activity high user. There you go. Try writing that. Okay, that person's gone and it's not coming back. It's in timeout for 24 hours. I told you, just because I'm going to listen to these does not mean I'm not going to respond. There you go. There does that person go. Try writing that now. It's just me and you. Yes, because I suspended that person. That's why it's me and you. That's not what my channel is about. I'm here to share political factors that's affecting society today. My channel is nothing related to Palestinians. That's not what this channel is for. Air listen, so just listen to me. Oh, they'll be back. They'll be back. The number rotates on YouTube. If you recite, okay, first of all, there's Sufism, there's Shiism, there's Sunniism, Salafism. Do you know all the scripts? I didn't think so. So do lose the bullshit. Do you know where do all the Muslims come from? No, we don't. No, we don't. No. Nice try. Sufism comes from South Asian, from Bangladesh and Pakistan and India back in the day where Buddhism existed, and there were South Asian Muslims. That's where it comes from. And Pakistan and Bangladesh started with Sufism. Later, the Arab countries took over and launched their narrative into Pakistan, my recent video. So that has nothing to do with pray, Mary Jaan. Shut up. No, it doesn't. अगर आप अल्लाह के नाम में अल्लाह अकबर किसी को मारोगे ना, कब्र में जो है जान जाएगी तुम्हारी. कब्र याद है ना क्या है कब्र? The hell after, कब्र. You know what that is? डर नहीं लगता अपने कब्र से? You're not afraid of it? Surah is not going to help you with your actions. Surah is a book. Your hands help you decide the actions. You control this hand. You control this hand. You control this hand. You control these. You control this. You control this. Now make it think right. And if you're going to condemn in this brain, to condemn in a murder, laugh at a murder, you are going to be going to hell. Hell, my friend. Hell. Bro, good Imam back. Hey, James. Love ya. How you doing? No more questions about that. That's not my topic today, but I answered it. She goes there, bro. Now I answered that question. She's waffling that they ain't Muslim. No, because Muslims are not supposed to worship radicalism. Thank you. Shut up now. So now I'm back to my topic. I'm just saying political facts that how Hollywood affected children, Qatar affected the community, and Charlie's death affected the entire America. And nobody's saying anything. And my point to every single person listening, what you saw yesterday, get me on call, I'll debate you. RN, don't claim to be a Muslim. Oh, I don't need you to teach me. You're not coming on the call to debate me without understanding history itself. I don't allow bogus idiots on my channel. You either know history from left to right, or don't come to my channel. Okay? What was Pakistan's history before the statehood? Let's see which one of my fans can answer this question. What was Pakistan's history before statehood? I'm waiting. Yes! Pakistan didn't start with Islam. It started with Sufism. Tribe of Islam. Do you know how did Sufism to change into Shia and Sunni? I'm waiting. How? Let's hear it, James. Fire it up. Let's hear it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to respond, please. How did Sufism change to Shia and Sunni? Answer the question, somebody. You brought it up, you're going to answer in front of all the guests today. How? How? You guys are frozen. I'm waiting for an answer. How did Sufism get terminated? How did Sufism get terminated? No, I'm not going to tell you. You brought it up. You do some homework. I already know. I publish videos if you guys paid attention. You are going to do some research this time. No. Prophet Muhammad made 5 tribes. Sufi, Shia, Salafi, and Sunni. These. Now these took place in all portion of the world. All portion of the world. Middle East, South Asia, North Asia, North Africa. Do you know all of them? Oh, bro's right. She's disagreeing with it. Because this is history. This is history. They're the Turkish Muslims. They're the Iranian Muslims. They're the Arab Muslims. They're the South Asian Muslims. African Muslims. All these. Do you know their history? Do you know their history? Answer me. Tell me. What do you guys zip for? No answer. Talking with each other. I'm asking about basing. No, it does. Because there's many scriptures of Islam. Not one. your history teacher taught you what the country wanted you to learn. You only know what the country wanted you to learn. That has nothing to do with everybody else. Quran, 30 verses. I'm not debating Christianity. Don't bring up Christians into this. You guys are going to be kicked out in a minute. This isn't Christianity. This is Islam. There's 30 verses of the Quran. Next question. Look it up on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube. How many verses of the Quran are there? Idiots. Okay, so bottom line, till I got distracted. I just said that this is not Christianity, this is Islam. Don't bring in Christianity, thank you. No, we are not debating Christianity on here. No, don't bring Christianity as an excuse. Thank you. Now, to yesterday's influence, and I'm just going to say one answer. Every American is affected. Nobody deserves to have bloodshed. Nobody deserves to be lost. And those of you who are saying suddenly out of nowhere that, oh, what about the innocent Palestinians who get killed every day? What about Palestinians who get killed every day? Their war has been going on for 2 years. This is local America. They don't live here. What does local America shooting have to do with over there? She's just hiding her emotions. I think she's gonna cry soon. Why would I hide my emotions? I've answered it. You guys didn't answer my question. I asked you twice. Why did Sufism get terminated? You guys didn't answer that question. Type on Google, what was the first Islam tribe in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and around the time of India? हराम खोरो, मैं मुसलमान हूँ और मैं इंडिया से नहीं हूँ. चुप कर जाओ. Idiots. That's South Asian accent. Thank you. Hindu and Urdu are the same. That's because Sufi Muslims lived with Hindus. Yes, Hindus. That's why Pakistan language and Bangladeshi language match with Indian language, because they live together. No. I am Pakistani. Chai. Chaliyo यहाँ से. Man hates me. Report. There you go. There you go. He ain't coming back. Okay. See, prove you're a Muslim. What? You guys are ruining my stream. What are you here for? Really? What's your question? You're ruining my stream before I kick you out. What's your point here? Okay. Fast. You're supposed to fast every month. Pray 5 times a day. Teach your kids right and wrong. Inspire your kid to be a better person. That's what makes you a Muslim. This, cover up this, and my view's ugly as fuck. That doesn't make me a Muslim. You're an idiot. Channel activity. And what am I gonna do? Okay. You guys, I'm going to do this. How should we remove? Put a user on timeout, 24 hours. There you go. And now, you are my biggest fan. You really pissed me off today. I'm sorry, but it has to do. Put a user in timeout, 24 hours. Okay, there we go. All done. No more distractions. They're off the page. Now, back to the thing. So, I've seen so many people cry today in America. There's been a self-division with each other. People don't really want to socialize. When I spoke to my friend yesterday, she felt like every Christian is affected and no Christians on our side. But then in one direction, I've been telling all my friends in America that there is going to be a Christian wave. You just don't see it yet, but it's there. When one person is affected, everybody's affected, especially when it comes to your own. Just like the Jews went through October 7th, they killed many Jews. Every single Jew in the world is affected when it comes to Israel, right? Same for tomorrow, like yesterday. But Charlie, bro, you are here. You're here. What are you doing? Come on, man. You guys are killing my stream. What's the beef here? What do you want to say? Question? What do you want to say? Okay then. Can I continue my stream, please? Okay. So, even though President Trump made an announcement, remember a few weeks ago, okay, this page is not for you Palestinian morons to harass me who's a Muslim or not. Take your radical ideology into someone else's page, and here's my pleasing right here. Get off my page. Hide this user. There you go. Goodbye. Finally, idiots. Now then, okay. So if I shoot somebody, let's say if I ever did this crime, I think I would be probably sent to jail for the rest of my life, lose all my friends, and nobody would ever look at me the same way again or ever have trust in me. Well, that's how the Americans feel today. That's how the Americans feel today, that ever since Charlie died, they feel that they can't trust in society anymore. And I honestly feel for Americans that don't lose hope, believe in hope. There's a good impact and a bad impact this year. This is the bad one. Jews had one in October 7th. Muslims are pretty much living it still. Whatever the Palestinians are doing by killing Jews, we carry that bloodbath. Nobody wants to believe in us. Nobody wants to trust in us. Nobody wants to talk to us. All thanks to who? Palestinians, because they want to, do their cause and make every single Muslim carry a bloodbath. When stuff is not even affected in the Quran. Jews were affected on October 7th. Christians are affected since yesterday. And same for Hollywood. Hollywood affected every single child. Every single child till that time period, till now. And now today, every single American is affected by yesterday. If you tell an American what happened yesterday regarding to the Palestinian cause, you must be crazy, because Palestinians are over there and we live over here. And our safety comes from here. It doesn't come from over there. With who are you talking to? Why are you destroying my stream, dude? What's with you idiots? Like, do you come to my page to destroy my channel? Just because I don't have my laptop open, you decide to harass me from my phone? Not cool, dude. Like, seriously. I tell you. Ever since I started saying stuff on X, I feel like I have Palestinian weirdos freaking watching me everywhere. On all my contents, even though they do not, thank God my name is not published anywhere. I feel like they're watching me everywhere. On X, they're watching my post on X, they're watching me on Hollywood channel, they're watching me literally anywhere. Ignore people and keep talking. Thank you, Jeremy, I do my best, but I feel like I'm on watch everywhere just for supporting what's the truth and what's fair. And I feel like I'm going to be harassed really, really disgusting way ever since I favored Charlie Klerk. I feel like I'm going to be harassed even more on my channel. But it's true. Shooting yesterday has affected every single American. Every single American. Churches, children, school teachers, pastors, almost every society you could possibly think of. Jews got affected on October 7th. Muslims carrying the bloodbath of all the Palestinians, what they're doing for their faith and cause. So it's a chaotic system pretty much everywhere. Hollywood is affecting children who believe in movies. You know, actually, when you go to movies and actually have a fun time, go to the theaters and have a fun time. Well, after that announcement, I guarantee you not a lot of kids are going to have interest in movie theaters. Because what kids saw is mixed actors in Hollywood, a good spirit to really like look into and give them the feeling that, oh, what's the next movie of this actor? What's the next movie of this actor? Or are these actors going to work with them too? Are these actors going to work together like how you make the Avengers movie? After that announcement that actors took a pledge that we're not going to work with anybody who supports Israel, you've shown the kids a brand new impact that they never even imagined. So, example, Paul Rudd. How long has Paul Rudd been with the Avengers team and Marvel? But since he's a Jew and he works for Marvel, all those teams who once upon a time worked with him in movies, since he supports Israel or Adam Sandler, those teammates are not going to look at him anymore. Could you imagine that? So kids, when they see old actors who worked with these actors in the Avengers movie, it's going to leave them questions like, why aren't those old characters in this movie? And why aren't those old characters coming in any recent movie? Because of the pledge. I pledge not to support any Israeli heroes. And, well, yes. So that's going to have an impact on kids. A new vision like never before. And even for Adam Sandler. Qatari attack. Some say it was true. Some say it was planned. Some say it was not planned. That's going to have an impact on society. And yesterday was a conclusion for all Americans. A day before today, 9/11, it's like every single American took a bloodbath after Charlie was wounded with blood. Every single American took a freaking bloodbath. And they're going through emotions, they're going through society, they're going through a head of thinking just why and what does America hold for us tomorrow. But remember when I reviewed in my streams previously, it's really, really important how you present things, because in the end, if you present only one direction of circles, this is what society looks like. Unfortunately, yes, this is what it looks like. What we saw yesterday. Hate, divided, hate towards other circles, different visions, different perspective, different everything. And when hate crosses the line, you kill people. You really do kill people, because you are to a point where you can't control your emotions anymore. So you are going to do what your mind desires. You're not going to care what the law says. You're not going to care what the Constitution says. You're not even going to care what the Bible says or the Quran or the Torah. You are just going to do what your mind desires. And that desire sometimes is a toxic peace. It's not real peace. It's a toxic version of peace, but that's your way of peace. And what happened to Charlie yesterday, that's almost every single person is feeling. Everyone. Now, could you imagine children who's watching that on TV, adults who are watching that on the TV, politicians who saw that with their own eyes this year? What are you going to say to society tomorrow? What are you going to tell your churches tomorrow? What are you going to tell the schools tomorrow what to believe in after they saw yesterday? Anything? You can manipulate social media by movies. You can manipulate people by the news, but you cannot manipulate people when it comes to a live shooting in front of their eyes. That's another story. That's a complete different story when you see a shooting in front of your eyes. And that was America yesterday. Everybody was crying. Everybody just had lost of cause. Christians started saying that I don't feel safe being a Christian anymore. My own best friend said that she was crying at my shoulder yesterday. I'm like, don't feel down. We feel no less than you do, because we've been living it for 2 years after freaking October 7th. And I'm like, we feel no less than you. We can imagine your pain. She's like, I can't stand this. I feel like no Christian is safe in America, and we are going through a crisis. Crisis after yesterday, you know? But in the end, if you study history, you study all different nations, what they're a part of, it may sound crazy, but it helps you heal because it makes you understand what other people's mission is. It makes you understand what do other people want. It makes you understand what are their visions are. And apparently, if you, I'm gonna do a thing about BRICS too one day, calling one of my friends to do a BRICS stream with me. That who are the BRICS? So apparently, they're a nation like Brazil, India and Iran for I, Russia, China, and South Africa, right? Now these nations, they are anti-American nations. Maybe not India, but like most of them, yes. They have nothing to do with America, and they dream to see America's pitfall. They always compete with the Americans. Just because you have a partnership does not mean that those people are gonna see you the same way, you know? Now here's the study part, what me and my friend was talking about. All these nations, they're mixed box. They're mixed nations. There's a Christian nation, Muslim nation, and well, South Africans would be considered a nation of black people, what historians say, but it's a nation, right? Now all these nations are in one box, and which nation is affected? I reviewed this with you guys. Europe, UK, Australia, Canada, and America, unfortunately. Even though people say no, they're a secular country, it doesn't matter if they're a secular country. Who conquered the land? Were they Christians? Were they Jews? Who were they, right? So when it comes to that part, those would be considered, well, according to historics, Christian countries that were once in Christian conquer, right? They may become secular, that's fine. Many countries are secular. But when it comes to who conquered it, that would be Christians. Now, the question is what type of Christians? What me and my friend were reviewing, and she actually educated me that. I didn't even know. I want to know. She told me best known for those nations would be like Protestant Christians, evangelical Christians, and that's same for America. Now, why do other nations do not want to join this club? Why do they hate us so much? Why are they not feeling bad for Charlie Klerk who just died? Do you see Russia crying? No. Do you see Europe, China crying? No. Do you see Brazil crying? No. We're the only ones who are crying. They're not crying for us. A Christian just died yesterday. Are they crying? No. We are. We are. It seems like nothing's bothering them, but we're sitting here crying that a Christian just died. That's where you need to figure that, hey, okay, we are Christians or a Muslim or a Jew. Somebody just died and you don't have a heart for us. Why? And that's how my friend felt yesterday from Florida. That I feel like nobody's on our side. Which nation is on our side? We lost someone big. But unfortunately, that is right now. That is currently right now. So if America gets punched, they don't care. America falls, they don't care. Someone from America dies, they don't care. That is just their circle of life. Rather it's Brazil, Iran and India, or South Africa, China, Russia. That is their historians' way of life. And those nations do not see these Christians from these nations who support Jews something good, unfortunately. And Muslims, they're fighting each other because some Muslims do support Jews, some Muslims do not have anything to do with Jews. They're divided, right? Now, if you were to put three icons together, this is what I was telling my boss, Anila Ali. If you were to put three icons together, right now, America is like Christian, Jews, right? Two icons. And other nations, some support them, some don't. So these two icons are fighting together as some call it the Judeo-Christian world, which is fine because only two icons are standing. Now the third icon, the Islamic icon, it's only going to come when the Arab nations shake hands, with Israel, which is what some Muslims are fighting for. That do it already, because the Muslim countries, they live under slavery, man. I don't think anybody understands that, but they live under slavery. Their rulers are Turks, Iranians, and Saudis. Without their powers, Muslim countries do not have a voice. It's what they want. They control the military. They fund the military. They give orders to the military. They fund the mosque. They give everything. So if a country wants to make a choice of its own, it can't do anything without these three countries' command. That's why places like Pakistan never did peace, or Bangladesh never did peace, because of these countries. These countries, until their power rules, they can't move it on its own. The content, the Quran will never allow lasting peace. I'll explain that to you. Let me explain to you openly, because a lot of my friends understood what I said, okay? I have a book, okay? This book cannot talk to me. It says clearly that, hey, it says like, oh, kill the infidels, as in Jews and Christians. Now, if you look at the real word today, as I explained, UK, Australia, Europe, Canada, America, these are evangelical and Protestant Christians who support Jews, which is best known for the Judeo-Christian values, what my friend told me, right? These type of Christians, right? But the other Christians, if you look at the Ottoman Empire, right? Remember I reviewed the Ottoman Empire towards Russia? Russia's not a big fan of Jews. In fact, it has the worst history with Jews who burn Jews alive. It doesn't care. Brazil, Greece is also an ally of Jews, which is why Greece supports America, but Greece was also invaded by Palestinians. Duh. Now, places like Brazil, Russia, China, business is another thing, but when it comes to their personal preferences and their long-time business, they're going to look at their circle first, and their circle is connected to like Russia, Iran. They're trying to pull in the Arab countries, Mexico, Venezuela, which just got attacked. Poland is right now debating Russia. So this is a mixed club. They have nothing to do with America's circle. So when the Quran tells you it's going to fight, it's referring to this conflict that's currently up front. Currently up front. Because these nations support this circle, and then we have another circle, which would be the Protestants and evangelical Christians, known as the Judeo-Christian values, against these guys. Isn't that what's happening currently? Nations are divided. Not all nations want America's safety. They could care less. That's currently up front. Now, how to solve this problem? How to solve this problem? And I told you, Muslim countries live under slavery until it's Saudi's command, Turkey's command, and Iran's command. They can't make a choice of their own. Remember my last video that I posted about the Saudis? Saudis funded Pakistan, made their mosque there. So if Saudi funds the country, it has its country under the Arab control. Even though the media says like, oh, we don't need Arab permission, we don't need Arab permission. Truth is, Pakistan cannot make a decision on its own until Saudi's power lives, even if it wanted. No matter how much the politicians brag, how much the politicians sing, it can never happen. And it will not happen. When it comes to Saudi's order that I need you to support me, it's going to do it. The only thing that's holding these countries back is America. The big king, America. America has a big influence on the Arab countries and the Muslim countries, which is why they have not made their movement, because they do respect America. Big time. If America says, I don't want you freaking going over here, they're not going to do it. That's why America controls their airspace. If America says, I need your support for this fight, they're going to have to do it, because America plays a role with their army, pays their army, controls their army. When I pay your army, I control your army. Money has power. Money talks. Business walks. And that's America. So, my friends, who's Christian, who's a Muslim, who's a Jew looking at me, understand this is a dangerous tomorrow. Whatever the books have said, it's a division from all over the world. Pakistan would be much better off if they were Christian, they living in country. Once upon a time, I actually never met a Pakistani Christian. When I went to my conference in DC, that's the first time I've ever met a Pakistani Christian in my freaking 30 years. That's the first time I ever met one. And she told me, and I met two Pakistani Jews, she told me that if it wasn't for these politicians funding the country and ditching his own freaking people, let them rot into dust. You want to know when people rot into dust, what you get? Oh, you died in the name of religion, so they don't have to take any responsibility for you. You just died in the name of religion, and you don't have to take any responsibility for you. You just died, and you're going to go to God, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. That's the life of a Muslim in Muslim countries. So if Muslims not treated equally, what the heck is a Christian going to get? That's a Muslim country. If Muslims are treated like dirt, what is a Christian going to get? That's how it is over there. That's why many Muslims, I met a Muslim, her name is Iraqi, Sarah, I'm going to post her content. She moved from Iraq to America. And she shared how Iraq's society always been very, very cruel. I would never go to Iraq. I'm terrified from Iraq. I would never go to Iraq in my entire life. It's the most scariest place you can ever go to. And she mentioned that how Iraqis were abused. Because of that abuse, she came to America. Politicians do that abuse. They sell out their own people and then say it's the name of religion, but actually it's a militant business that they run and sell out their own people that they call the Ummah. And those who do not understand the situation are going to act like just like these retarded Palestinians on my channel. That if you die, does your death not matter? If you die, does your death not matter? If your own people killed you for no reason, does that not matter? Of course it matters. I hope to see Pakistan become Christian in my lifetime. I hope everything changes in Pakistan. Right now, where the society is standing for Pakistan today, it's like a dead-end corner. In my eyes, I've never seen gas go out there. Now they started to cut gas. When I've been traveling, like 2-3 years for family weddings over there, and they never used to cut gas. I would say after my 3rd visit, they started to cut gas. So now there's a time period for the gas, and people have to finish their cooking, cleaning, everything before the gas, they light it out. They've been already taking up the light. They always suspend the water. Now they cut gas too. And if you don't get enough jobs. So it's a lot of economy for Pakistan that needs to be fixed. And why I yelled on X yesterday, if anybody saw me, I was yelling at the Pakistani politicians that people just died from the flood. What are you doing for the people for the flood? Instead, you are making yourself a victim card for Qatar, which is clearly not Pakistani business. It's not. It's like it's desperate and wants the money to be involved. I understand Qatar got attacked. Okay. But shouldn't we look at our responsibilities first? Just like Americans today, right now. After Charlie's death, everybody's emotions going to be about self-determination. Like, pay attention to us first. My need comes first. They're not going to think of anything else after Charlie's death. I don't think any American is ready to share itself to anyone right now. It doesn't want to share. It doesn't want to talk. It just wants to be itself after what happened yesterday. Right or wrong? Who wants to share and socialize right now with other creatures based on what happened to Charlie? Anyone? I don't think so. Many people are just isolated. They feel isolated. They don't want to socialize. They don't want their kids to meet anyone. Hello, New America. Today's 9/11, and he died yesterday. So before I end the stream, I want my fans to understand that we are in a very disgusting situation, and it's a very nasty tomorrow based on what happened to Charlie. If you believe in the holy books, then you believe in the scriptures of what type of people. And when the scripture, I'm not sure about the Bible. I know somebody educated me about the Revelations. I take that Revelation script very seriously. Whoever educated me this, I take that script very seriously because it's to life. And the end times, I take that script very seriously too. Now for the Quran, even though Hadith wrote this script, it's not 100% true. When the Quran says that fight the infidels as Jews and Christians, it's not all Christians, because I explained to you, what about Russia? The Ottoman Empire war. Why is it linked to Iran? What about China? What about Brazil? What about South Africa? But these nations that the Islamists invaded, like UK, Australia, Canada, and Greece, now America, unfortunately, they're on one project here because they support Israel. And according to studies of Protestant and evangelical Christians, which is best known as they believe in the Judeo-Christian values, unfortunately, these are the Christians that are being affected the most, sadly, just like Charlie yesterday. He got shot. Does that make sense? Did anybody turn around? Did a Russian Christian ask how you are? An Orthodox Christian? Did a Belgian Christian ask how you are? South African Christian? Anyone turn around and ask how is the American Christian doing knowing someone big died? Anybody ask? I don't think so. Just like the Palestinians don't give a fuck about Muslims. When Muslims died in Syria, they didn't give a fuck. Muslims died in a Pakistan flood. Did the Palestinians give a fuck? No. This is society today. Now, what would you tell your children? What would you tell your children? That is fully up to the parents. And if you were to put all the icons together, right now it looks like Judaism and Christianity due to one script. But historically, Muslim countries are divided. And if it weren't for America's power, they'd be on the opposite side. What has the Muslim countries tied is the American power. And it's rough. It's pretty crazy to just understand. But all these three symbols that Abraham made, they talk in their own specific format. You just got to understand the world, how it's working. And it's pretty divided. After yesterday, like I said, which Christian from Russia, which Christian from Brazil, which Christian from any other nation asked how is America doing after the loss of Charlie? Anyone? So my safety for the American people is that understand your tomorrow. Yes, you're going to go through a heavy storm. You're going to go through a lot of mixed phases in your life that you never pictured before. And you're going to see hate that you never pictured. But in the end, as Americans, and being linked to so many nations for so many freaking years, and teaching your kids to travel the world, see other nations, travel other nations. Today, are you still ready to tell that to your kid based on what you observed? And I'm going to leave it right there. Based on what happened yesterday, are you ready to tell your child to look at the world the way it always has? In America, it's about to get a little bit heavy on everyone. But in the end, we need to stick together. There's just no other way. We have to work together. Everybody just took a bloodbath, if you look at it. Muslims okay, sorry about that, a phone came. So that's what I'm saying. The New Testament teaching of the cross is only the solution, yes. Keep every single Bible testament. Never get rid of any single testament. Because those testaments are going to help you what happened before and what's happening right now. The holy books are no joke. They're messages to make you understand the future. If you have a Old Testament from 2000 or 1999, keep it. Never get rid of it. Every single Old Testament you have, whether it's the Quran or Judaism or Christianity, keep it. Never get rid of it, because you understand the past and New Testaments come in, you're going to understand what's tomorrow. It's ridiculous. And yes, this is what's next for America. America has always been a very strong country, loyal to every single country in the world. But some countries, even though there's different Christian countries, there's different Muslim countries, that does not mean those countries look at the American Christians or a Muslim the same way. And that's where we need to come together, whether you're American Muslim, American Christian, American Jew, and this is where the Abrahamic symbols come together. What America is trying to do, but not many are ready for this method. I told you, Muslim countries are not going to do anything because they respect America. Biggest Christian country in the world. But secular. Many secular countries who guarantee freedom of religion. But when it comes to secular, that doesn't mean secular, everybody's going to agree with your method. So that's my message on my stream. And I'm sorry Palestinians crashed my stream. I didn't expect that. But I want everybody to really understand what is tomorrow. Tomorrow, America's being very strong as it possibly can. But there are many nations out there, whether it's Muslim, Christian, Jew, whatever. Everybody's view is not the same how America sees things today. And that's what we need to hold on to ourselves stronger, face consequences, face what is tomorrow, understand what the messages have told us for a better tomorrow. I'm afraid you're confused about how inflexible Islam. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm going to review this again. Okay? Okay, so the Islamists, study who the Islamists are. They're like invaders, okay? I don't agree with what they're doing as a Muslim, which is why I've been advocating for 2 years. But it's kind of like a project, right? The Islamist, this is what my Christian friend told me too, and she actually told me in a better point than I did. I'm a Muslim, but she understood and she told me instead. The Islamists are in a war with the West countries because they have one concept, and that's because some of the West countries support Israel, unfortunately. Why Russia's okay, China's okay, but why Australia, UK, Canada, why aren't these countries okay? Why is Greece a little bit okay but not super okay? Because these countries are America's allies. They're America's allies and they support Israel. But these countries on the opposite side, they don't do those things. So it's like a project. You see what I'm saying? It's like a project, missionary project. And if the Islamist fails and as the time freaking flies, remember the BRICS agency I named? Minus Iran and India, minus the I completely, that stands for Iran and India. You have Brazil, South Africa, Russia, China. What do they stand for? Secular or no secular, but in the end, they're different type of Christians. And they do not support America's method. And Islamists did not invade them. Could you believe it? Crazy as it sounds. Islamists didn't invade them. In fact, Russia, it literally holds the Quran and said it is forbidden to burn the Quran in its country. Crazy as it sounds, but yes. It's called replacement of theologically and unbiblical position that Russia takes towards Israel. That's what I was saying. I was asking my friend, like, how is that possible? And she told me a lot of things. I don't even remember half of it. It was a long Christian history she gave me. They are Orthodox Christians. They're Orthodox culture. Now, their Orthodox culture in Christianity is not going to match with the American evangelical and Protestant culture, if that helps, what she told me. Now, that's what we say to Muslims too, that you're not being a real Muslim, you worship violence, you worship sin. We argue with Muslims all the time that we feel like we can punch him in the face. I'm not saying for Christians, but some Christians, they told me, my friend told me that she does feel like that. That in the end, hey, I'm a Protestant Christian, I'm American, I live here, I don't care what Russian Orthodox Christians think. This is who I am, and this is me. But there you go. Christian argument was the Orthodox Christian argument. We Muslims, we argue with Muslims all the time. Did you not see me yell at Palestinians being angry with them that how dare they not see their society? Same concept. Same concept. And I pray for everyone who's a Christian on my channel, do not throw out any of your scriptures. Keep every single scripture you have ever studied, because you never know which one of those will come important. Yeah, we talk a lot. She educates me a lot about Christian history, and I review Muslim history. But not a lot of Muslims want to agree with me, but there's a history. Everybody has a history. There's no such circle that does not have a history. Any questions before I close out the channel? And I want everybody to really understand, pray for your tomorrow. I understand everybody's affected. This week is crazy, but there's heavy stuff coming up. This is a portion, and you must make yourself prepared. A lot more of that is ahead. A lot. And my best prayer to everybody on my channel, hold on to your hearts. A lot is expected for what's ahead as we fade to 2026. All right, guys, I'm going to close out my stream. You may be okay, so that's what I'm saying, that be prepared, have your heart strong. There's so much that is ahead, so much unwanted conflicts that our hearts are not even going to understand. And yes, I've seen people debate Muslims. I've debated Muslims myself. We had many debates as Muslims. And they didn't agree with me. They didn't agree with me at all. They started cursing at me, just like how a Christian has a debate. They're like, you're not a real Christian. I get told the same thing. Oh, you're not a real Muslim. But there are some stuff that Christians and Muslims have in common, but it just depends on which type of Christian would believe us, because I had this consequences too when I spoke to Christians. Whether you're Protestant or evangelical or an Orthodox, it just depends which methods do you agree with us, depending on what you studied in your Christianity script. If anything matches from your studies similar to ours, that's where we can say, hey, we have something similar with Christians too, you know? But we know how you feel, because we go through these problems. We go through these problems freaking all the time. That's because you sound kind of Christian with your respective life. No, I grew up this way. I'm from 1987, and Islam was taught here. You could say stuff started to say after 9/11, Obama, and of course, as of now, the big October 7th. That's when these things started to change and more radicalizations in. I know Palestinians' history. They're selling a false propaganda without having to share how Hamas came into power. Before Hamas power, they had a life. Hamas made them radicalized monsters for permanently. That happened in Muslim countries too, through Saddam Hussein for Iraq. Saudis in Iran sold their ideology to Pakistan, Bangladesh, but some Muslim countries got out of it because they didn't want to be part of it. And just because you worship a religion doesn't mean you have to follow the same ideologies as another country. But some countries enforce that ideology into their countries, that no, you have to obey it because we're paying you to. It's money buys anything, even religion. That charter, you want to know something funny? That's a political ideology. Zionism is not even in the Quran. There's no ideology in that book that you have to specifically kill Zionist. One word with a Z in the Quran that has said you have to kill the Zionists. Not one word. Israel's in the book, children of Israel. Moses, Al-Aqsa's in the book too, but Palestinians are. But this political ideology created Arabic books stating its religion. Oh, kill the Zionists, kill the Zionists. But the book itself, the Quran, it doesn't have the Zionist movement to kill any Zionist at all. That's the biggest hint I'm going to give you. So if it's not in the Quran, how is he doing it? This book, it can't talk. It's not some magical book that it's going to talk to me. It's how I educate the book. Now, I can educate a good way or a bad way. And so far, people have been making money educating things off the bad way by radicalizing idiots. That's simply not true because you're committed to a way to... No. My identity, I told you, comes from Sufism. Pakistani Muslims were off of Sufism from South Asia side, living with Hindus, Buddhists, and Bengalis. That's where our history comes from. Middle East tribe is not related to the South Asian tribe, which means Muhammad has two different stories. Middle East is different, South Asian is different. And South Asian, we started with Sufism first, just like how Iran started with Zoroastrian. We started with Sufism. Later, when our states were made and we had a religion starting with Sufism, throughout time, Saudi sold Wahhabism to us. That's how Pakistanis are affected from that time period till now, which is why they're not going to do anything without Saudi's power. So any other questions before I close out the stream? Hang on, guys. I'm going to go open the door. I'm going to close out the stream. I have to open the door. Yes. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Okay. So. Okay, so that's what I wanted to review. That we were Sufism first until Saudi funded our country, and we moved into Wahhabism and Wahhabism. We moved into Wahhabism later, which is why Pakistan does not remember what was Sufism, even though Sufism was part of their history before statehood. Any other questions before I close it out? If you have any specific questions for me. So like I said, these Middle East Muslims like Shamalis, Ilan Umar is a Shamalian, Palestinians are Middle East, Nigeria is Middle East, Iranian Muslim Middle East, all these are Middle East. Radical idea, South Africa comes towards South Asia. And South Africa is kind of like the big, I know an imam from there, his name is the Imam Musa. He actually gave his own speeches. Like South Africa is like a really big place where Islam took place in early ancient time. And it has its own history with Prophet Muhammad's parents. Now, could you imagine that? I didn't even know that. But it does. Every nation has its own history. And not every single history comes from the Middle East. And I told you, Nigeria, Somalia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Syria, all these places are linked to the Middle East. And they're linked to Middle East Islamist history. I'm actually not sure why any non-Arab would even follow the teachings of Muhammad in 2025. See, that's the big question. Remember I posted a video earlier about Saudi Arabia, how it founded Pakistan? Money. Money, right? Remember what I said about the money? You can buy anything off the money. If the Arab world can buy the Muslim countries off money, and they're going to make a gamble, like, hey, we're going to pay you this much if you sell this product, which would be the religion. I'll sell you this much if you teach this ideology in your country. Money can buy anything, man. You name it. There's not one thing. If Angelina Jolie can use her power to eliminate Israeli actors or movies from Hollywood, what do you think money cannot do? She made that happen. How famous is she? But her money ideology made that happen in Hollywood. Could you imagine that? Money can do anything. You just got to know how to use it. Good way, manipulate, or a bad way. You name it. Any other questions? Before I close out this stream, Sorry, once again, I apologize for the pro-Palestinians who crashed my space. That wasn't the answer. But I hope people understand that today's society is evil. Money can condemn it to do anything. And if yesterday, if something taught you something, yes, people can even pay you to do an assassination or a murder. Money can do anything. You name it. Even if it requires to pay you to murder somebody. So I hope people understand, and I hope all people really understand that America has to come together with everyone who wants to stick together and fight this evil. And we need to come together before it is too late. And what's ahead, it is terrible, it is heavy, and people are going to have a million questions. People are going to be looking at their Bible, people are going to be looking at the Quran, what's happening, things like, if America cannot come up with a solution. It's asking for help, but it still has not found a solution how to solve all these madnesses around the world. Because in the end, America has to survive. Any other questions before I exit this out? So thank you for coming to my stream, and I'm happy to answer all your questions. And I'm sorry that the Palestinians crashed the space. I did not expect that. Next stream I'm going to try. The reason why I'm not doing StreamYard, guys, because I feel like I've been scammed by them, the StreamYard people. I would do a StreamYard stream, but I feel like StreamYard has scammed me. I took the $20 package, and instead they've been charging me $34 a week, which is not even my package. It's supposed to be monthly, and they're charging me a week. And there were 4 transactions already. That's why I cut down streaming from my laptop. But I'm going to see if that is resolved, then we're going to go back to laptop. But I do not want to be scammed again. That's why I started streaming with my phone for temporary till I know I'm safe to stream again and I do not be scammed. Only reason, guys. Other than that, guys, take care, and I hope you guys hold on to your hearts. My prayers with you. We need to get through this, and we need to stick together. No cure to it. Let's get through this time, and hopefully we reach the safety. My best message. Take care.